Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use super dragons here at Townhall 12 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition that we are going to be taking a look at today, and honestly it's pretty simple. Super dragons are one of the strongest super troops you can use at Townhall 12 because they are so simple. These are the troops that you're going to be bringing. Honestly, the main troop is going to be, of course, those super dragons, with 5 of them coming through. A few balloons going to be coming through just to help test for any seeking air mines. For spells, we're going really heavy on the DPS, trying to bring in as many rages as possible, with some freeze and invisibility in there as well. When it comes to our clan castle troops, we're actually going to be using a Yeti blimp. That is to take down the town hall. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And here is the equipment that we did decide for on our heroes. As always, this is not exactly what you have to use. It's only my recommendation. You can use whatever pieces of equipment you think will work best. So jumping straight into the strategy, there's a couple of things you're going to want to do. First of all is starting to create that funnel. You need to decide where you're going to be deploying those super dragons from. 9 times out of 10, this is going to be opposite town hall side, and that is because you want to try and get your blimp going through with those super dragons and into that eternal tome ability from the Grand Warden. But we're going to be funneling over here towards this top section of the base, using the earthquake boots to open up a part of the base to let our king and queen in. So this is what we call a kill squad. So it's basically our heroes are going to be coming in, they're suing in to these first couple of compartments. They're going to be trying to get as much value as possible, looking to take down the enemy clan castle troops as well as any other defenses we can possibly grab. So defenses that can really cause issues for our super dragons, of course, are going to be air defenses, single target infernos, air sweepers, and clan castle troops. Those are things you definitely need to keep an eye on. So dealing with a couple of them from our heroes at the start while also creating a bit of a funnel is definitely going to be very beneficial. Moving on to the next stage of our attack, you're going to see we're kind of using one super dragon off towards the outside of the base. That's going to be used to help create the funnel. The rest of the super dragons, alongside some of those balloons, are going to be pushing in towards that town hall. Using that eternal tome ability at the very last seconds means that that blimp is protected all the way through. We're going to go ahead, rage up those Yetis so they can secure that town hall takedown. Now, some people do like to bring balloons in their clan castle so they can also take down the town hall, but for me personally, I find Yetis to be a little bit more versatile, and typically they can take down a town hall even if they encounter something like a tornado trap. Pushing through the back end of this one, you'll see we didn't have to encounter any air sweepers. The design on this base was a little bit flawed. They were kind of all pointing the same direction. This means these super dragons can easily get lots and lots of value even if they push onto the outside of the base. When it comes to using your spells, you're typically going to want to try and protect, even if it is just one super dragon. We only bring 5 in this army composition because they are, of course, 40 housing space each. So if you need to use free spells to protect one, invisibility spells to protect one, absolutely do so. We have loads of rages, loads of freezes, and of course the invisibility spell. Those are there to help protect your dragons. You're also, of course, going to get the continuous effect from the rage gem from the Grand Warden, and honestly, this strategy is so easy to use. All you have to do, create a little bit of a funnel at the start, drop down those super dragons, and then use those spells to bring in lots and lots of 3 stars. So if you haven't already subscribed to us here at the Barracks, now is your chance to do so just before we move on to the next example. So moving on to the next one, again, we're going to be coming in with a little bit of funnel. This time, slightly different to what we had previously. We're going to be starting off with a Yeti and double Valkyrie on one side. King is going to be over there, but then on this opposite side we're going to be bringing in the Queen. She's looking to take down the air defense and some of these other structures on this bottom section of the base. King's going to be able to get in here, hopefully deal with that other air defense, as well as helping to really create that funnel. Then we can start to push in. We do have this air sweeper to potentially contend with, so we may need to use some free spells on that as and when, but we can just monitor that as we get the rest of our troops in. Now remember, on your king you do have those earthquake boots. Those can be used to open up some of those inner walls if you need them. If not, you can use them to gain access just into the first initial compartment. Pushing on straight away into the next phase of the attack, that is going to be coming in with those super dragons, letting them get a little bit more value. before you go ahead and drop down that blimp. Remember, you need to make sure that the the Eternal Tome, is going to catch that blimp long enough that it's going to be able to make its way all the way through to the Town Hall, even if it catches that tornado trap. Because yeah, just like that, we definitely want to secure the Town Hall, and if that was balloons, we potentially could have seen some issues, but luckily for us, because it's Yetis, they have a little bit more HP, and those Yeti mites are always going to be able to take down that Town Hall once those Yetis do go down. Of course, as always, you want to make sure you are raging up that blimp. If you don't, those Yetis may have a slightly harder time securing the Town Hall. Plenty of spell support left up on the back end here. Still 3 rage spells and a few other spells to be deployed. Like I said, don't be scared to use them. Just drop them down, get that extra bit of value in there. And even if you come up against things like Tesla farms, just go ahead, freeze them, use those invisibilities, use whatever you need to guarantee those 3 stars. Because as you can see with this one, we actually haven't lost a single super dragon. They are still pushing through the base, even after taking hits from Seeking Air Mines, from air defenses, from loads of other defenses. This one is going to be another 3 star. We can speed through the back end of this because we know what the outcome is going to be. If you would like to pick up the link for this army, it is as always down in the description below for you to grab. So that third and final example is a little bit more of a symmetrical base. We can see we have 2 multi-target Infernos as well as the single target Inferno in the core. Sweeper is definitely a little bit more strategically placed here, one on one side, one facing the other, but for us that's not going to be a problem. We're going to actually be creating a bit of a funnel straight away here in the core of the base. King and Queen going straight in, Yetis and of course the Valkyries just in there to help create that funnel. King's ability did get popped off to open up that first wall compartment, and that's just to gain access straight away into some of those compartments. King unfortunately does get locked onto by that single target Inferno, but he is able to start pulling out some of those clan castle troops, so we can go ahead and start thinking about them. Next up, we're just going to be looking to potentially, here we go, create a little bit more of a funnel using one of those remaining super dragons, and then the rest are going to come down with those balloons from that bottom section of the base. Balloons out in front are going to be just testing for any Seeking Air Mines, as well as to help protect those super dragons a little bit. End up using that invisibility spell on our Queen as she progresses through into the core of the base. That guarantees that single target Inferno does go down, which, like I said at the start, that's one of the things you very much need to watch out for when it comes to defenses that can cause super dragons any issues. Town Hall going to go down very nicely with that Yeti blimp. Using that poison spell over on those lava pups, guaranteeing those go down, though I don't think they really would have caused our super dragons too many issues, because of course our super dragons are able to do splash damage. Raging up over here towards that left hand side of the base, just allowing those super dragons to get a little bit more value, because of course they no longer have that rage effect from the Grand Warden equipment. Continuing here, we have kind of 2 groups, one over here and one over here, but we only have 1 air defense left up, and again it's going to be another 3 star coming in with this. So let me know down in the comments if you're going to give this strategy a go. I know a lot of people are sometimes hesitant to boost up super troops just because it does of course cost Dark Elixir, but for me this is absolutely worth it. These super dragons are incredibly powerful. You can farm with them, you can use them in war, you can use them wherever you want to, and honestly you're going to be bringing in lots and lots of 3 stars. In this particular one we actually only get left up with 1 super dragon. We do have that rage build though, so we can go ahead and deploy it down, and that is going to be another 3 star to finish off this video. So thank you so much for watching, hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.